You know I'm a big Ohio nigga. A lot of niggas know me in Ohio and they love me in Ohio, man.
The deal is the champ, Shannon Ken and Braves, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. I want to give a shout out to BVO TV.
Shout out to BVO Boxing. You understand? Check the boy out. Check the kid out. You understand?
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy BBO Sports TV, man. We back with another show, man. A little different show than usual. We're gonna talk a little, I would say, politics and community. I think it's important to be able to sit down and have real conversations, man. It's just important. As you guys can see, the title of the video today is "How Do We Lose Our Way? The Hard Truth." And the reason I bring this up, it reminds me of a book that I read, some years ago that always seems to come to mind. That's called Community or Chaos, Where Do We Go From Here by Dr. King. And in that book, Dr. King was in Jamaica, taking a break, and he just had this feeling. This is right after what we would call the technical mainstream civil rights movement. And he said he felt like he did all the wrong things. When he sat down and thought about it, because people don't remember, Dr. King got a lot of criticism because he was against the Vietnam War. And you say, why is that? Because he was an agent of peace. And when you're a guy who wants peace, people tend to go for you. But the reason I said, I want to kind of get into this is because I think, and this is just maybe me just thinking out loud, I feel like as African Americans, man, we really lost our way on what's really important. And I think it's just been kind of like, over and over again, when you look at the situations that we're going through and the couple of things that we've been going through, Suta Vacay Bay, I think the overwhelming problem is just us not being able to react the proper way to things that's happening to us. And I think the hardest thing in life is to sit there and take a look in the mirror and say, you know what can I do better? And you know why I say that's the hardest thing is because BBO's had to do that. I'm gonna be fully transparent. There were some things in my life that I really had to correct and that I'm still working on. But the thing that really got me through it was just understanding that you have to meet the task at hand. And if you don't, you won't live or do the things you say you want to do in life. And I think we just watching as our society moves forward through time. In a lot of ways, we losing ground just off some of the stupid, nonsensical things that we're doing. And Malcolm spoke about this, right? Malcolm spoke about not getting caught up into what he called the black bourgeoisie, which is people who think they're better than other people. I think that happens too. I think sometimes when you come from the ghetto, you've been scrambling and scraping your whole life. You finally get a little something. You finally able to do some things you thought you possibly couldn't do for yourself or for your family. You kind of do get a little bit of an ego. And I think it's just important to, no matter how well you do in life, to never forget that, hey, I came from such and such situation, and through God, I was able to get out of it. Because I'm telling you, man, if you look at what's going on in the black community, a lot of us are forced or relegated to being a permanent underclass. And it's sad because we heard this when we were kids. We heard this growing up. A lot of them 35, be 36, my birthday. I heard the same stuff. And if you look at what's going on, we losing. Most of the younger people, they don't have proper decorum. They think somebody owe them something. And if you have any type of sense, you a sellout or you code switching. And I'm telling you, man, those type of terms are idiotic in my opinion. It's just a certain way to go about things. You don't have to agree with me on it. Like, for instance, BBO don't wear no tattoos or have an earring. For me, that's girly man stuff. I don't do that. And I can say this: it's just sad to see so many people not focus on what really matters in life, and you just see us failing as a culture. I mean, let's be honest. Think about the videos that we send to each other as friends. It's always whether it's a young lady who's hurt by something and she's attacking a young man, or unfortunately we got young men attacking young ladies and breaking things, violent, almost like I would say animal behavior. And it's like you would hear somebody black call somebody black a monkey in a heartbeat. And I don't see how that's productive. And I don't see what that does by saying somebody's a monkey or, just laughing at somebody's expense. You look at, let's go to boxing. What you seeing with Tank Davis, Abdul Wahid is sick. And there's still no one to say, you know what? I'm just praying that this guy figures it out. You got people either laughing at him or people enabling him saying, oh, it's not as serious as you think. If you think it's not serious to physically assault a woman, you got to be out your mind. You got to be out your mind if you think that's not serious. Most men, I'll be honest with you, most men are going to run into that situation where they have a young lady who might go too far in how she's doing things, what she's saying. And it's up to that young man to understand that, you know what? It's not my job to use my fists. It's my job to use my heart and my head to get out of the situation and not do something I'm gonna regret later, or not let a 5-second decision cost you 10 years of your life. And I'm telling you, it's too many. You see guys like they'll let a 5-second decision cost them 10, 15, 20 years of their life. And it's just important to have intestinal fortitude, and it's important to really have a moral compass. You say, oh, BBO, how do I get that? You got to want to have that. These ain't things that you grow up with. The things that you admire Muhammad Ali about, Muhammad Ali just had the instincts. Muhammad Ali had the instincts of wanting to do something for his people. He didn't know what it was. I've read tons of books about him. I've heard plenty of people talk about him. He didn't know what he wanted to do, but he knew he wanted to do something special for his people, and he did it because he was willing. And when you're willing, I believe God will find a space for you. What's going on, Mark? How you feeling, man?
Well, it's good. I'm good. Had a great day. Glad to be up here with you. Good evening to everybody coming in. Please smash that like button. Subscribe. BVO got a great channel. I would also recommend you go ahead and get yourself a membership if you're new. Shout out to the whole STN, man. What's good?
And definitely shout out to my man Mark, man. I basically kind of get into this conversation where I think that when we look at for me and you, it would be considered our ancestors or great grandparents at this point. When you look at what they were able to do and what they were able to build, and you look at what's going on now, it's a travesty. It's a travesty, man. I think that they got new borders, a new way to separate us. And I think that sucks. Salute to my brother Insane. Salute to Golden Park 8. Yeah, shout out, man. Appreciate everybody that showed love from New Zealand, man. Shout out, man. Hey, BVO supports Ja Obertai, the next cruiserweight, maybe even heavyweight champion. So definitely shout out to all my Pacific Islanders, man. Appreciate you guys, man. But salute to my brother Bentley. I'll say this, and I'll get your opinion on this, Mark. I just don't understand why there's no willingness to do things the right way. What would you say to that? Because I feel like there's a lot of people who do things just to get a reaction, just to poison the water, so to speak. Or you got a lot what I would call them bad faith actors or drifters that come along that just want to benefit off our pain, or they want to benefit off of the remedy and how to support us. What would you say about that, Mark?
Well, I would need more context to that, but I mean, Black issues or Black pain, it's always going to be a salient political issue to run on, or it's going to be something popular or controversial to talk about, so it builds viewerships and audiences for different media people. So I just think it's always been the same go along to get along game. Now with Muhammad Ali, that was somebody who he himself was a black man who was living in a time where it didn't matter if you were the richest black man, you still couldn't step into places that the poorest white man could. So
Mm-hmm.
that was something that touched him directly. And the stances that he made, particularly deciding not to go fight in what I view and what many historians view to be an illegal, pretty pointless war that saw
Mm-hmm.
millions die in Vietnam for nothing. I mean, like literally nothing. We stayed there for 20 years and then they kicked us out of their country. So what was the point of going there and doing all of that? So I respect Muhammad Ali. He took a stance, and his stance was that of many other greats of the time. The guy I have on my profile pic, Fred Hampton, one of the main points of the 10-point plan for the Rainbow Coalition and the Black Panther Party of Illinois was that no descendant of slavery or no black male should be drafted into the United States Armed Services.
Mm-hmm.
So Muhammad Ali was somebody that took a stance during the time with issues that directly impacted him. So he was not a bad faith actor. Now it's unfortunate you got a lot of people nowadays where I'm gonna just call them what they are. Like they're raccoons. Like they're Sambos. Like a lot of the people I see supporting Trump, or like you might disagree with me, but the FBAs, and I've said
Mm-hmm.
it and I'll say it again, this whole foundational Black American thing, dark people from other country are tethers, they don't belong in our movements, we shouldn't advocate for them. That's
Mm-hmm.
corrosive to Black political power. And people that say things like that, they don't have an understanding of of how Black people got so many of the things that we needed across the political line. The civil
Mm-hmm.
rights movement was not a result of just black lawmakers or the Black Panther Party in Congress passing laws. That was a
Mm-hmm.
result of white people realizing this is not okay. Not
Mm-hmm.
only that, what we're seeing down there in the South with people being denied the right to vote, this is something that is antithetical to all of us. And the guy you see on Muhammad Ali's right-hand shoulder, another good faith actor, he said it. The chains that are used to rattle on one group's hands will come back to rattle on your hands one day. So if you can restrict the rights of one individual, you can find a way to do that for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the whole FBA thing, I think they're bad actors. I think that they're really meant to just separate minorities from each other. The I will vote for Donald Trump. I mean, you see how that worked out for those people. I mean, those people themselves, like some of those people that were on stage are getting their family members deported. Like one brother who had Trump tattooed on his neck and on his chest, who was up there with the band, he's getting sent back to Cuba. And he's been very, very critical of the Cuban government. So chances are when he goes back, he's gonna get thrown in jail. Okay? He actively voted and advocated against his own interests. But hey, that's what you get for being a bad faith actor, bro. The chains that are used to shackle one group will come back to your door. And you're seeing it in real time with a lot of these people. But you could go ahead on there.
Pretty hard to follow that, Mark.
Salute the prize.
Let's go. Yeah, that's pretty deep, Mark.
I'll say this. I think I get what Mark is saying. I think the thing you got to understand that I can say that I understand about was the foundational Black American movement. It's nothing more than you see Black people trying to find an identity. I think the thing that's tough for us Black Americans who are direct descendants from slavery, I think we have a hard time grasping to our greatness. One of the most famous campaigns of peace that we ever created was the Eye of a Man when we did the protesting in Memphis, Tennessee, which unfortunately was where Martin Luther King passed away, I'm thinking that we showed us that we said, you know, we a man. I'm a man. Treat me as one. And people don't know that same campaign was used in Russia when those factories workers, they were walking around with "I am a man" on. And what happens with black people is this: everybody gets liberation but us. When you had the Chinese that was with us, they seemed to get I would say a break or remedy to their issues, but then when it came to us, we didn't get it. And I'll just say this: the sad thing is that too many times in life, I feel like black people feel like we're always left from the table. And what you had was people came together and said, you know what, we want to make something of our own, because we have Africans, Jamaicans who come here and say they're better than us. You had it to where you got people who are from Somalia who say they're better than us. People, it's just like, friends, I heard this Chinese dude, this Chinese dude got up and made a joke and said, "I'm coming to deport everybody but black Americans, about blacks." Well, it's because we helped build this country. And I think the sad thing is, as Trump said, and I don't agree with a lot of what Trump has said, because he's shown himself to be, in my opinion, a white supremacist. That's my opinion. That's not for something that's not saying everybody has to agree with me. I think he's a white supremacist. But when Trump says stuff like it, just starting to get credit for what you guys have done in this country, he's right. He's right. Benjamin Banneker helped design DC. Do people know Benjamin Banneker's name? Do you know the clock, Big Ben, over there in the UK? That's the name of the Benjamin Banneker, the Big Ben. Do we know that? No. But people realize in 1619, that was when we first started having what they call black chattel slavery. They bought black chattel slaves over here. This is different than indenture servitude, where you work for a time and then you're free. We're talking about people being bull-whipped. Have you guys ever seen a bull-whip? Being bred like animals?
Yeah.
People being, it's just so many things that I could go into. You also had one of the most crazy campaigns I ever seen was when they had this thing called the Willie Lynch letter, which absolutely happened to be not true, because that came up later, but it's just the mind control. And I think it just goes a long way when you got people saying, hey, they financial black Americans, because they had Jamaicans, they've had Panamanians, people with black skin act like they're better than us. They've had Haitians do that. And I think, and it's not necessarily right, James Brown said it best, man. I'm black and I'm proud, and you're beautiful. When you see the reason BBO has a different, unique perspective on things, and I'll say this, God forgive me, because I listen to so much 70s stuff, it's kind of making me a little bit more sexist. I can admit that. I'm working on that. Pray for me on that. But when you listen to stuff like Miss Black America, I'm black and I'm proud, I love you, or the Temptations, Beauty's on the Skin Deep, yeah, like they had music for black people. What did Pac tell us? When Marvin Gaye was singing to me, making me think like black was a thing to be. Being black is a beautiful thing. Maya Angelou, Nikki Giovanni. And Nikki Giovanni had a great conversation. I'm a little bit all over the place, but I want to make sure we get these points out there about how great we really are. And Nikki Giovanni gave us something for us professionals. And I think Marcus could go with this. I think Price could go with this. Why don't you give your best self to your wife? What you say? You lie to that white man, you put a smile on for him. Put a smile on for me when you come home from work. Yeah, I know you've been working your tail off, but when you come home, be excited to see me like you're like when you have excited to see that white man. People laugh and joke about that, but your wife deserves to see the best you, because she's the one right there with you. And sometimes because we get so frustrated, we get so upset, we don't realize that we got to put work in ourselves to do things better. I look at myself and think, hey, I'm great to my wife. My wife should appreciate this. She should appreciate, but you know what? It's things I can do better. Because one thing that BBO does wrong, I just can't seem to say the right things. And I'll be honest with you. Maybe it's because I watch so many 70s shows. Those guys come from the patriarchy, so they're a little bit more, I would say, sexist. And I got to work on that. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something funny. I didn't support Jasmine Crockett because she was a woman. Not because I didn't like what she was saying. I just wanted Cory Booker to say that. I wanted Kareem Jeffries to say that. But it is what it is. What I want people to understand is we come from greatness, man. Let's not go for the banana in the tailpipe. Whether you West Indian, shout out to Rachel. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all might be too young. Used to be this chick named Rachel that used to come on BET. Remember the Island Girl Rachel Prize?
Yeah.
Even Biggie rapped about her. So we got nothing but love for the island people. I could just say this, a lot of blacks have been hurt by people always wanting to separate themselves from us. And that hurt comes out when you get movies like Foundation of Black Americans, which is not even needed. But it's just a sense of belonging for us. That's all it is, man.
But I can't. Well, I want Prize to get in on this, but I get the FBAs. I get it. I'm not gonna say I don't get it, even though I think a lot of that stuff about Caribbean folk and Africans saying they're better than American. I think a lot of that is overstated, but I get it. Trust me, I get it. There's a feeling that Obama didn't do enough. There's a feeling that we're not presented with candidates that really focus on black issues. We had Hillary Clinton talk about black men as super predators. So I'm not gonna understand. I'm not gonna act like I don't get it. But to say that that we always get left behind or that we were not liberated. Like BVO, you're a black man who lives in a very good neighborhood. You live in the suburbs. You move from the ghetto. That could only happen because of the Fair Housing Act that was passed, which came out of the civil rights movement. If that wasn't passed, there's a very good chance redlining would still be in place and you might still have to live in the ghetto with your family despite the income you're making. And then it's like coming out of the riots after what happened to George Floyd, after what happened to him where he got viciously unalived. We had a lot of reforms passed, like body cameras. That became universal around the United States. We had a national registry for police officers. So if you got fired one place, you couldn't just go somewhere else with your license and say, hey, hire me. And then the department can't be like, oh, we had no clue about this dude's background. Now, is it perfect? Black women, when they go to the maternity, when they go to have kids, they have a 3-time higher lethality rate than white women. When we look at our dropout rates and our incarceration rates, it's still a problem. But I'm not gonna sit up here and act like we haven't had anything or we haven't been liberated in any ways.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I'm just giving you that feeling that a lot of black people have of hopelessness. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying it's right at all. I just think that's just the feeling. Let me get some of these comments. Let me go here from my brother Prize. He said tethers don't have anything to do with civil rights.
That FBA talk, that tether talk, that separation talk.
Or one now, political
Pittsburgh
party.
T, one of the biggest coons I know. Go ahead.
Hold on, man.
That's crazy.
Hold on. Can't call this man a coon like that. Come on, Martin. You better than that. That's my guy.
Respectful, but that said, guy is crazy.
Let me read this real quick. He said, one political party or religion, that's all propaganda. America is too busy to do for blacks during patient for groups of sexuality. Can I ask you an honest question? Was there ever a time America was great? Fine. That's just people talking to each other. It definitely needed in cities like Miami. There's no ethnic was that coalition? That's impulsive BS. I'll say this. Do I ever think America was great? I'm gonna tell you this. I think America, the moment the idea came of this great country, was great. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We wanted freedom from a king. We wanted to have freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. No taxation without representation. You had the King of England, robbing us. That's why you see the Tea Party, and that's what made us have a country. I think if you're being honest, if you're being fair, George George Washington, people like Thomas Jefferson, John Adams. Those guys had the right idea. I just think at the end of the day, man, evil like slavery was committed. And when they got more information, they did some things different. But I'll say this, we can't really focus on what wasn't right, because I'm gonna tell you something real. People got to know this about America. It's not perfect, but it's one of the best things going. Do blacks and Europe have their issues? Of course. Let's not talk about the blacks that live in China and what Chinese do to blacks there, or these Oriental nations where they treat blacks like absolute trash. We don't even have to get into that. What I'm telling you guys is this: don't mistake a few bad things and say that we're not a great country. It's not perfect. It's not. But guess what? Out of this great nation, we had some of the greatest people of all time come up. You guys realize that because how America was, it gave us a Muhammad Ali, it birthed us a Malcolm X, it birthed us a Dr. King. These guys wouldn't exist if those issues didn't happen. You guys got to remember, God sent Muhammad Ali as a boxer, but if you ever heard Muhammad talk, brilliant man, very thoughtful, very engaging, beautiful person. I'm going to say this, and this is what a lot of people say. They feel like when we did desegregation, it hurt blacks, it hurt brown people alike, because we stopped, relying on ourselves. And that's what you get. For me, a lot of people say libertarian movement, where they feel like the government is so invasive, it creates issues that shouldn't be there. And to an extent, I believe that. I just think no matter how you do it, you got to really just work hard, treat people right. And I can only because I believe in Jesus Christ. Everything will work out. But if you dwell on the things that you don't like, it's always gonna be something, man. It's always gonna be something. My thing is this, but don't put like you didn't see Donald Trump put a picture of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama as monkeys. Don't tell me you didn't see that. Don't give me some bullshit that you didn't think he meant it, or I don't think a 70-something-year-old man knew how to. It don't matter. It shouldn't happen. So we can't excuse dumb shit. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't believe in that. But what you got on this, prize?
Nah, I was just listening to y'all cook, man. That's deep, yeah. I feel like, you gotta just try to everything y'all saying is right, but at the end of the day, you gotta help yourself, man. And you can't be letting stuff get you down and get discouraged, even though if your situation is not where you want it. Just try your best, bro. Don't get discouraged. And I really pray for the young brothers. That's what I'm more into. The young brothers. I wish they would stop their wars, but
Yeah.
it's sad out here.
And I say that, you know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's great out here, Prize, because you know what? We're seeing evil purge itself. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, and people are gonna get mad. I'm gonna say this. I thank God for Jesus Christ. I thank God for sending his son. I thank God for giving his word. I thank God for blessing me, because what I'm learning is this. When you doing your thing in life, man, don't get caught up in the dumb stuff. Don't get caught up in the dumb stuff. You said Malcolm wouldn't join the movement. I don't know. We did hear Malcolm's speech, the ballot or the bullet. We heard that. I think we got to understand that at some point, you have to find a way to assimilate yourself with the culture and find your way in. One of my favorite people, and I'll keep this real about myself, BBO Sammy Davis. I'm the one that's going to bring Frank Sinatra to the Million Man March. Why else was he there?
Yeah.
Why would it bother him why would he care? Why would Frank Sinatra care? Because you know what? He loves Sammy so much. He said, you know what, Sam? Let me see what I can do to help. People like Sammy Davis, Louis Armstrong, people want to call sellouts and stuff like that, live like kings. People don't know this, but Sammy Davis was marrying Jewish white women and in the pool with white women having a ball. He was a one-eyed, he had a wooden eye, as he said. He was a wooden-eyed Jew, and he lived like a king. Because what? His best friend happened to be Frank Sinatra. Sammy
Yeah,
Davis and his brother. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Nicholas brothers. These are guys who tap dance, did shows, travel around the whole chitlin circuit. But because of his relationship with Frankie, he was able to go to the best stages, have the best women, the best food, and really enjoy his life, man. And was making probably six figures in the 60s, dog. We got my brother Bernard Hackett in here. What's going on, Coach? How you feeling, man? We got a little different conversation today going. How you feeling, man?
What's going on, good bro? How you feeling?
Oh man, this basically kind of, we never really talk about politics and what we think, and I kind of I was reading some, how you get to reading some old stuff. I was reading some stuff about Maya Angelou, and it touched me to say, you know what? Let's talk about where did we go wrong or something. Let's have a healthy conversation about what we can do better as black and brown people, because let's be honest, this is a black and brown channel, and I think that we don't really talk enough about what happens in our society. We just kind of just deal with it. What would you say to that, Coach?
I think you don't have to talk about it too much. You see it all around you. People don't like the answers when you talk about it. When you talk about something, I'm just being honest with you. When you talk about some of the worst neighborhood, and then you see, especially the older people, especially my age and above, especially above, and they talk about the neighborhood bad, we want a better neighborhood. First, they got to realize it's their sons and grandsons that's fucking up the neighborhood. You can't clean up the neighborhood, but you ain't turning their ass in. That's the part nobody want to talk about. They talking about, man, the crime and the drugs and all this stuff is bad in our neighborhood. Who's standing out front? What you think they doing out there watching? but when you tell grandma that, man, y'all just making that stuff up about my grandbaby. Your grandbaby ain't got no job. How you get a new car?
Yeah.
That's my girlfriend car. Where's his girlfriend? That's the conversation until that conversation is the conversation that has to be had. You can't clean up another neighborhood when they run in the yard and grandma say, I didn't give y'all permission to come in my yard. Why you think you ran in the yard with the cops behind it?
yeah, I agree. I agree with Brother B. I think the same way how generational wealth can be passed down, you got generational curses, and a lot of dudes from the ghetto or from the hood, they pass down the generational curse of just plain straight laziness to their kids. A lot of kids that's 18, they come out of high school, they just want to party or they just want to find a part-time job, or not even a part-time job, but they want to go work for somebody else. Like they want to go work at McDonald's, or they want to go find a job at a warehouse, which is nothing's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going and getting on a payroll. But then you stay there and you stay there for 10 years and you don't pick up no skills, you don't got no benefits over there. And then a lot of dudes turn when they see that they a lot of the time to go to school, a lot of the time to go pick up a trade, which you can always go pick up a trade, but then they turn to things like the streets, the easy way. And that's not the way to do it. And I agree with Brother B. Like it starts at home. Like a lot of kids I see nowadays, you see the kids are jumping parents. I've never seen nothing like that in my entire life, where a group of little girls go and jump the girl's mama with her daughter. I've never seen that in my whole life. That has to be a function of at home, you got no type of discipline. They just let you run around and do whatever you want. Now, to the wider conversation about the greatness of America, or when was America great? America's always been great. America is great from the time of its founding, because they tried to coalesce around the idea that all men were created equal in the eyes of their creator, and that they had certain inalienable rights. Now, that didn't always apply to everybody. There was a time that only applied to rich landowning white men. But the thing that makes America great is the fact that people had the right to come out and speak against that and say that it's wrong. And through years and years of either wars or court cases or civil rights movements. We continue the course of progress to the point now where a guy like BVO who came from the ghetto can move to the suburbs and not be denied. You know what I'm saying? And it's not perfect. It's not perfect. And it might never be perfect, but it's the fact that we have the ability to continue moving forward in the area of progress. Now, how we fix a lot of these homes and a lot of these urban situations, like I don't even know, like, because it goes by every individual case. So I don't even know, because like I grew up, and I'm proud to say it, I grew up very privileged. Like my mother came from another country, you know what I'm saying, was homeless at 18 and went and busted her behind, educated herself and became a lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's passing down generational wealth to me, not only in terms of like money and properties, but she passed down like her work ethic of education to me and being on my behind every chance she got. And I used to hate that. I used to hate how her and my grandmother, who's also from Grenada, used to talk to me. They used to talk to me like I was a damn dog or like I was a slave. And if I did anything, like if I even moved outside the line even a little bit, they were on my behind like that. But looking back on it now, to the person I've become, not just in terms of my work ethic, but in terms of my morals, how I treat people and how I view situations, I'm thankful for that. And then I look around at other people who might not have had that, and I see the situations they in. So I don't even know like how on a broad level you would fix that, because you'd have to go case by case and home by home. But I still have hope for the future. And
not even just so much. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Mark. My bad.
no, I was just gonna say I still have hope for the future, and you know, I try to be on the same type of timing as Prize. I try to talk to people that are younger than me and let them know that you need to take your education seriously, and that if you want to be a laborer, there's nothing wrong with that, but get yourself a trade. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to work for yourself. Don't stay working for somebody else, because eventually you're gonna reach a certain wage cap that you're not gonna be able to break through. So that's all I would say, man.
And I got salute to my man. I got my man Dub in the house. Of course, I got my right hand man Prize. But I'm gonna say this real quick. I think this is the main thing we gotta understand. Nothing's perfect, and not only do we gotta do for self, we gotta understand that we gotta be honest about what we're seeing. When you see us on YouTube, TikTok, and we just doing just absolute goofball behavior, that's why people look at us the way they do. And you say to yourself, well, it's not fair. Why do black people always got to be perfect? We don't got to be perfect, but we got to remember that we didn't come from that. Most of us had down south, you know, whether it was grandparents or people from the south who really went through it, and they tried to give us great things to do so we wouldn't be a part of the mess. But unfortunately, a lot of us want to be part of the mess. You get the results you get. You got Ray J now, one of my favorite guys in entertainment.
Oh man,
Ray J has been an absolute animal,
menace,
a beast almost in the field. And now you see he got some serious health issues, because guess what? You can have fun with the devil, but you got to pay the price. Just that simple. And I don't want to just make this about him, but let me read this comment. He said, pointless mostly. We are so indoctrinated that blacks believe if you don't blindly follow a political party or religion, you are a coon, pure ignorance. I get why you say that. Pittsburgh is like an atheist, so I get that's why he says that. The truth is this: Pittsburgh is just rare for black people to be atheists, man. As rough as they treat us for no reason, there's no way I can believe there ain't a God. There's no way I can't believe there ain't a God. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna tell you something real that people don't want to hear. I've seen God do things for me in my life that made him real. One of my favorite scriptures is, "And the word became flesh." You don't have to agree with me on that, but I've seen God do it for me. I've seen God. I live by straight animals, man. You know, I wish I could probably name names of these dudes who just These dudes would eat people almost. These are just scallywags I grew up with. I'm talking about dudes would make pentagrams. People don't realize when you watch Belly, the beginning of Belly, that dude's making a pentagram. That dude's making a pentagram. They got dudes in the ghetto who don't believe in God. They got dudes in the ghetto who walk around with boa constrictors on their neck, you know, just chilling, you know, and feel like there ain't no God. They got niggas who flip cards, tarot cards. They got niggas who believe in crystals and all that devil stuff. But I just don't believe in that. And when God came to my life, it was different. So I can't tell nobody how to live or what to do. I'm just telling you what works for me. And whether you think religion is man-made or not, I've seen God do some things for me. I'm from the bottom, dog. I'm talking about wicking food stamps. I'm talking about my grandma said, get you a free lunch. My grandma used to give me up all the time. Go get some breakfast down there at that school. I used to be the only kid I remember. Me and the kids, we would get breakfast and lunch from school. Come home eating steakums and stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. You got to make good decisions too. You can't get the girl pregnant that you like at 15, 16. You can't do it. It's rules you got to follow.
Again, that goes back to the household that you was raised in.
You can't have tattoos. You can't. You can't have that long girly hair. You can't have blunt busting nails. You got to be somebody that people can use, man. That's what dudes do. Dudes want to have earrings like girls. They want to have these long nails or have long pink. Y'all ought to see niggas with them long girly pinky nails like they a pimp. You ain't no pimp. I seen pimps. I mean, it's feminine behavior. Guys grow up around their mama and grandma too much, and they want to be a broad. I'm just trying to tell you what it is, man. What do you have? And it's just me. I'm old school, so take this with a grain of salt. What does a man need earrings for?
They
for
fly.
what? You want to show me that you're pretty? That's just how I look at it.
My grandma thought I looked handsome in my earrings, so she wanted me to have.
Yeah, I had my ears.
Hey, when I was growing up, I heard that you was a you know what if you had your ears pierced.
Yeah, and you know what happened if somebody called me that? They wouldn't leave their girlfriend around me.
Hey, I'm just telling you. Listen, I'm not telling you this ain't no R. Kelly video. I'm just telling you what I seen growing up. You know, it's just that's not what we did. You know, my aunt used to tell me if you get your ears pierced, you might as well get a tongue ring.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah,
now,
I don't know.
If you get your ears pierced, get a tongue ring. I just don't believe in it.
I get a tongue ring.
It's not for
country, brother.
It's not for everybody.
The Africans and stuff used to have piercings all over the place.
Hey,
our people, our ancestors.
My grandma tell me, brother, you from Cleveland. You ain't from Africa.
Ain't none of us who ever had piercings in their life. I say us. I used to be of that thought back in the day. Ain't none of us do it because our ancestors had it in Africa. And we did that because we thought that shit was fly here.
And that's exactly what it was. Hey, because I ain't gonna lie, when I would go to,
I used to have them gold Gucci earrings.
When I was young, I had the magnet on my ear when we go skating so the hunters could see my earrings from Claire's with the fake diamonds. I used to have and I don't know, the magnets hurt your ears bad too. I did that. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it. I'm just saying for me, I said it best. Earrings don't belong in the ears of guys. Just like when you got men who got that long girly hair. For what? Cut that off, man. Get you some waves.
I say in a professional setting, no. I don't think men should wear earrings. I'll agree with you on that.
To my brother B3.
What's the professional setting?
I'll put like this:
for me, a professional setting would be an office space.
Anywhere you're not digging graves, man. I'm gonna say that
construction site is a professional workspace, and guys got tattoos, piercings, all kinds of stuff.
Man, you pretty much a grave digger when you make a great living. There's nothing wrong with being a construction worker, but you out working outside, so that's
no, I don't. I work inside. I build skyscrapers.
Listen. When I say you're working outside, what I'm saying, you're not working in the normal.
Like you're working with your hands.
It depends. Right? It depends what kind of trade you take. If you're a laborer, then you're liable to be outside. If you're an operating engineer like me, where I go at is going to be heat. So in air conditioning most of the time. If you work with a good company, they got good equipment.
My brother said, he said it's a cultural thing. Tattoos and jewelry don't see the point of change, but I'm not calling Mr. T anything
Yeah,
but sir.
Mr. T is one of the most masculine individuals I've ever seen.
And this is the thing. Don't mismistake what I'm saying. I said it's not for me. I don't believe in that. When I was growing up, that's the guys around me called that girly men. Girly men had the tattoos, had the earrings, because at the end of the day, if I take my shirt off while we got a company picnic, I don't want to look like what my grandma said. You don't look like no damn art easel.
Wow.
You don't look like no art easel. No, if that's how you want to move, you want to have tattoos, that's cool. I didn't grow up with that. I just didn't grow up with that. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying for me, people I looked up to, Sammy Davis, Muhammad Ali, they didn't have tattoos. Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael, them guys didn't have tattoos, so I never wanted one. But if your favorite person had one, then cool. One of my favorite fighters, Floyd, didn't have no tattoos. But if that's what you do, that's what you do. My Uncle P used to have a scorpion on his arm. He thought he was the man. And my granddad called him what he used to call him a black fairy. But
geez.
That ain't true.
That's crazy.
That's what he used to say though. That's how the old guys was, man. So I mean, my man said we not descendants from Africa. You can say that if you want. At the end of the day, everybody comes from Africa, man. The first bones were found in Africa. I don't have a problem saying that we descend from there, but we got 7, 8 generations here. We from America, dog. And I'm not about to be sitting in no hut with no doggone Travis Scott song. Just not gonna do it.
That sounds crazy.
Just being real. I'm being real. The problem is this: people don't know how to be honest on what it is. But let me ask you this: we got my man Dub in house. Dub, how you feel about this conversation, man?
I think it's an interesting conversation. First thing, as always, man, shout out to my brother BVO in the building, aka Sombrero. You know what I'm saying? Prize, Coach, Marky. I hope I ain't missed nobody. I can't see everybody's name.
So respectfully.
What up, man? How y'all feeling? But I
Right
think it's
side Dub, what up?
a fantastic conversation. It's interesting though, kind of I'm from the country. I grew up with the old folks, so I see things a lot how BVO see it, where it come. And I went through. I kind of spoke on going through a rebellious stage at one point in my life. You know what I'm saying? Really, from probably like that 11th grade year going into probably my sophomore year of college. About those 4 years right there, kind of rebellious. You know what I'm saying? Got my hair, it's out of order. You know what I'm saying? Got my ears pierced and all that kind of stuff. But as I got older, you return back to your roots and what you learned as a child. And the way I think the question was posed, how do we fix it? The way we fix it is you address your home first. Each man needs to be addressing their home, and that's the start of fixing the situation that the quote-unquote foundational Black Americans, I heard y'all use that earlier, the quote-unquote foundational Black Americans are in, is because, once again, it's the lack of men. Men aren't standing up and showing or leading accordingly in the neighborhood. And so the next thing you have is because I remember a time where if Bradley and Brian daddy them was outside, I don't care whether he's right, wrong, and indifferent. You know what I'm saying? You better do what that man tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we was raised. You know what I mean? You did what adults told you. You ain't go and push back and want to argue and do all that kind of stuff. You did it. And if for some reason it was wrong and I got in trouble for whatever it was, and then I have to address it with whoever, I'm like, well, this is what I was told. I was following instructions. Y'all always tell me to follow those instructions, you know what I'm saying? And then they would address it with each other and say, okay, so you got bad instructions, we'll figure that out. But I need you to stay in order, you know what I'm saying? And the lack of order that we have these days is just out of order. I mean, it's just incredible. That's the whole problem that we have is the lack of order.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, I think the thing, and I ask you this, Bernard, when a guy like you, right, who went through a lot of different things, and you came home and changed your life, what was the main driving force that said, you know what, I gotta let go of what I was doing? Because it seemed like you was a brother with principle from the gate. How did a guy like you even operate in the street?
I came up in an era where principle, your face, everything was what you lived on. I came up at a time where when you got in the street, somebody had to put you on.
Right.
In order for them to put you on, especially if you were a young kid, you had to have a reputation, or your family had to have a reputation of being stand up.
Right.
And so they put you on based on that. And when you got on, the first rule you learned is that you paid what you owed. Your face was everything. Like I tell young people now, y'all know street lingo, but y'all don't know street rules. They'll say my face card good, but everybody know them for stealing and robbing. How you got a good face card? People know you for being a thief. You know, back when I was young, if you ain't take care of your kids, niggas didn't fuck with you. You was an outcast. Because that was your responsibility.
And coach, back then, correct me if I'm wrong.
Huh?
When you stepped out, you represented your family as well.
Even if you was in the street.
Yourself.
Yeah, even if you was in the streets, you represented them.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's hurting us now. The first name is more important than the last name. I remember when the last name was important. If your brothers and all them knew you was doing something that was underhanded, man, he stole, he robbed, man, he got something on face value and didn't pay him. Oh, they was gonna pay for it, because when they caught up with you, you was gonna pay for it. And it was your brothers, because the family name meant something. Do you know family reputations is what built this country? Everywhere you go, I don't care what city, I don't care what state, I don't care what ethnicity. The family names built this country. Everything about this country was built on family names. So if your family name is trash, then who gonna fool with you? Ain't nobody gonna fool with you if your family name trash.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what the first thing they say, man? That's the Carter brothers down there. You know they dad ain't eating with them anyway. They ain't food down. You get away from them. That what they say. Get away from the foods.
Nah, that's real. That's real. That's real shit. and that's the thing. We don't hold these kids to no standard. I see a kid do some cold, wicked shit. Teacher say, look, the teacher say something to him. This nigga say, I'm gonna call my mama. Back in my day, your mama going upside your head, number one, for embarrassing the family, and then number two, for telling the teacher you gonna call your mama after you knew it was wicked.
Man, let me ever call my mother off of work. Let me ever get my father to come off his job to come to school for me. It's over
Yeah,
with.
it was
I was getting
wicked.
whooped inside that classroom in front of the whole class.
On site.
It's like your mama wanted to prove to the teacher that y'all wasn't niggas. Like she gonna beat me. Yeah, she gonna prove to the teacher, oh, we don't operate like this.
Yeah, we
But
don't raise no hands. Yeah.
Nowadays, your mother will come up there and uphold your actions. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the sad part.
Get up there and defend the nonsense that you got going on. And I remember a time where my mama, my grandmother, because my mom would be, in Macon and in school and things like that, they had to come up to the school. Man, I'm about to pee on myself. What? That's the last thing you wanted. And they weren't gonna get up there and defend. Man, they talking to adults. They're gonna believe the adult before they believe you. It ain't this whole, oh no, I know my child. They ain't gonna do nothing wrong. Nah, this what the teacher said. The teacher ain't just make this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? The principal ain't just make this stuff up that you done said and did. Come on, you're gonna have to deal with. And then I had to do this not too long ago with my son. I'm like, bro, and, the teacher, we had like this little app called Dojo. Well, they got rid of it this year, but previous they had Dojo, and the teacher would kind of look out there, text you on, give you updates, grades, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got that, Dub. We still use that.
And so my son teacher hit me up when he was in like the 3rd grade, I think, said he acting a fool up here. You know, she didn't use those words, but so get what? And get what I said. I'm on the way. I'll be there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So when I get up there, they, I'm gonna, hey, when I come with belt in hand. Hey, y'all told me we're gonna correct it now. And they said, well, if you're gonna take him outside, you gotta check him out, Mr. Wright. You gotta check him out. All right, I'll check him out for all of 5 minutes. I'll check him out, beat his butt, and then send him back in there crying. You're not gonna act the fool. You got home training. You done been raised correctly. You know what's right and wrong, so you're not gonna act any type of way up there. And I don't need them to explain exactly what was going on. I don't care what your story is. You may feel like you was right. The teacher seen what was going on, and this is how they conveyed it to me. You're gonna deal with the consequences accordingly. He ain't did it since. I ain't never been called to the school since.
I'll tell you guys something funny about what you're saying, Dub. I remember like when we was young. Now I don't know. You got to live in the hood to experience it. They would have these like reverends. They'd be Superman Miles Curtis. They'd be like what do they call it? Mormon. And we'd be out there with the Mormon niggas, man, playing like we don't know who God. Just being ignorant niggas, right? And I remember my grandma said, "They got a place for a fool like you." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "I ain't got time to whoop you because I know where you about to go." It was funny.
And it's gonna be hot there. It's gonna be hot there too, ain't
it? Hey, you know, I had an older cousin, my cousin Brandon, and I can't wait to get to hell.
That's crazy.
Hey, you think I'm joking, man? That's just how little bad kids was. It just felt like whatever you got, what you're not gonna get there with no whooping. My grandma would whoop my cousin. Man, she beat the skin off this nigga. He'll say he wants some more. I'll never forget it. He just had that, and I see it now with my daughter. My youngest daughter is just a little goofball. She told my daughter, "I want another whooping." What? She told my wife, "I want another whooping." And it's like, come on, man. Don't nobody want to sit here and powder you because you don't want to listen, girl. Just do what you got to do. You already living like a queen. You living rich. What more do you want?
No. I'm like,
because I used to come home. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like the brother in what were the Inglorious Bastards? Oblige him. Go ahead. I reckon you want another. I'll oblige you then. Hey, you better hope.
I can't get mad.
You better
I
hope
say stuff like that. And you know what's so crazy? I grew up in the house, not when I was with my grandparents, but when it's kind of funny to say this, but when I was spending like the weekend with my mom or dad, and I go over there, you can comb your hair in the back of their fridge. I mean, it'd be nothing but condiments in their fridge. And my grandma say something, "You want to live like that? Or you want to come over here where you got," because I didn't grow up eating out the fridge. When I was growing up, my grandma would get up and make you something. It wasn't just you gonna scrounge around her fridge because you weren't allowed in her kitchen, let alone to have her fridge door open. That just didn't happen when I was a kid. She'd get up and make you something, whether it's 2 to 7, whatever. But I'm just saying it was just rules and regulations. You didn't get in Norma Jean's kitchen about nothing. You didn't cook no noodles. You didn't make nothing over there. You don't make no Kool-Aid over there. You know what I mean? You ask no God rest his soul. No, that's Norma Jean's kitchen, dog. Either you eating or you passing through. And see, just having those little rules like that is very important. Now, something I picked up recently, my wife don't gotta wash a dish because I just want her to know I appreciate what she does do. And yeah, she pissed me off sometimes, but I want her to feel that, hey, BBO appreciated what you do, so you ain't gotta wash dishes, girl. I already got a world-class dishwasher. I got the Whirlpool. It ain't enough for me to wash a couple of dishes up and throw them in the Whirlpool, take them out. But go ahead, Doug, my bad.
I ain't doing no dishes. That's dead.
I was just gonna say same thing with Big Mom. Hey, like you said, you either passing through or something. You about to sit down at the table. That's it. Don't go in that refrigerator and taste that orange juice because the only thing else love to drink your water in her. So you better not. And you drink orange juice in the morning. You get your glass of orange juice, and that's what they used the frozen orange juice back then.
Yeah.
And so
they ain't got no fresh squeeze.
No,
with the pulp in it.
Yeah, no. So You better not touch it. I think I told you this. My cousin Deuce, he used to always come over, and what he do? Get me. He my older cousin at this time, so he done went out to the military. He coming back. First thing he do, hey, you want some orange juice? No, he ain't supposed to be in the kitchen. No, but you know I'm following. Get that orange juice. Get the first thing he say, Big Mom. He got him a glass of orange juice. Oh God. All right.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. But no, my grandma, it was just so funny because couldn't nobody make a sandwich like Norma Jean, boy. She make them sandwiches, man. I look like my granddaddy had a sandwich fresh off the TV screen, bro. And she would wrap them up for him. I don't know if you guys see, a lot of y'all probably too young know the Cosby Show. There used to be a show called The Cosby Show. He'd make these big old hoagies. And I remember one time I came home, ate his hoagie. Man, they beat me like they didn't know me. And he used to have these hard chips called Grandpa Shed chips. They used to come in a black bag. Them chips will crack your teeth, man. They eat them old hard chips and pickles, and just be watching the Drew Carey Show, or Family Feud, or my granddad would call it The Wheel, The Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy with Alex Trebek. And I'm gonna be honest with you, those people seem a lot happier than the people you see now. We gotta go. Like, have you ever, like, I don't watch stuff like Love and Hip Hop or what's the show with Ghost? I don't watch that stuff because that's not realistic, man. You know, when I was in the street, I was like Bernard Hopkins. When my man beat to my wife, BBO was a doggone wallet thief. So if you think about it, if you ain't nothing but a cat burglar, what the heck you need to watch some dude talking about he's selling major pounds and drugs for what? You know what I mean? If you ain't nothing more than a gumball thief, you know, I'm type of dude punch in your mouth, give me that gumball. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be
thief.
Hey, I'm just calling it what it is because people be wanting to put all this sauce like they this and that. Hey man, I was a young confused dude who wanted just to have fun. That's why I would get people swirlies, because I thought when I seen them guys doing that on Safe by the Bell, I thought that was fun. I didn't know when you shove somebody's head in the toilet, they'll want to hurt you bad. Who knew? You know what I mean, Coach? What you think, Coach?
I think he was a sinister young man who had a lot of deep-seated emotional problems. But other than that, you know, hey, you a pretty cool dude.
Hey, I tried to be, man. I remember we had it used to be like a lot of Chinese people that at the mall, shot the Royal Niggas Mall, it's closed. And they would throw Chinamen down the escalator. All right, so one day they threw my cousin Brandon down the escalator. He come home limping, bleeding like a pig. They done threw him down the escalator. And I remember thinking they was wrong for that. But think about all those guys that I threw down the escalator. You know what I'm saying? And if you throw somebody down the escalator now, you might get arrested. But back then you could do that kind of stuff. You know, we
You saw them down the steps specifically because they had Chinamen. That might be a hate crime.
No, they just were Chinamen, and that's what we did. We threw them down the escalator, and then one day they threw us down the escalator. It wasn't about. See, this is weird to say this for people that don't get it. It wasn't a race thing. It was just that they were small and we were big.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You said
so it was a height thing.
Hold on, what do you think, Coach? What do you think, Coach?
You was just an asshole.
I agree. Like some of these things out here, like the man was stealing wallets and gumballs and throwing people downstairs. And man, how was I supposed to know shoving somebody's head in the toilet was gonna make them upset? How was I supposed to know that? Like I've never heard these things come out of any other human being's mouth, other than you.
Hey, I put it like this. It wasn't out of hate. I like the Chinamen. I love General Tso's chicken. It was just they were small, we were big. That was it. When you 10 years old and you 5'10", 5'11", and you got dudes walking around 5'4", 5'5", you're gonna try to dominate them. That's it. That's just what it was. And I mean, people don't understand that now, but that's just what it was. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna show you that you a punk. You know what I mean, Coach? That's just what it was. I mean, it's just like when dudes would wear like a starter jacket. You're not going to wear your Phoenix Sun starter jacket if I don't got one. I'm going to wear it. You know what I mean? Just that's just what it was. What you said, Coach?
And that's why little guys started toting
Yeah.
pillows.
I was just about to say we would have clapped you.
Hey, it's
Straight
funny
like
you
that.
said. It's funny you said. I remember one time when I realized it was getting treacherous, man. I was strangling this dude. We was outside the arcade, so I started strangling dude, and dude came back with a little, what is that? I guess you call it a little pea shooter. And I hit him with the Debo. What you gonna do with that? And I can tell you this: I was so glad that I had watched that movie Friday, because when I said that, it actually worked, and he actually eased off. But I could have got in trouble, man, because he had bought something for me. But I just hit him with the Debo line. What you gonna do with that besides make me mad? And he let me go. So I mean, you just never know, man. When you a kid having fun, you gotta be careful what kind of fun you have. So to my brother BC.
Oh, that sound good and well. But I'm
Yeah.
just telling you today, go do. And I was just watching the video. Little brother, you know what I'm saying? There's a dude bigger than him walking up on him, talking crazy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting down at a little table. When dude tried to rush him, what happened? He took 2 to the stomach. 2 to the stand. And get what? Right after that brother, he called the police and said, hey, he called the police. He said, well, hey, this is what happened. And then they looked at the camera. That man ain't get charged with nothing. You got to be careful being out here acting a fool like that, putting your hands on people, the lack of not having discipline in your life. That man not having discipline in your life you will lose your life. I don't think y'all understand. I don't think y'all understand how precious life is. And it may seem like it's fun. You get a little adrenaline rush or whatever. But watch how that adrenaline start pumping when them bullets in your stomach.
Not only that,
you never had the
everybody got
experience
their
of.
breaking point. Like at some point, and we see it a lot of nowadays with the school shootings. A lot of those kids were getting bullied and beat on and strangled and their heads shoved in toilets by guys or thrown down escalators and stairs by guys that were a lot like BBO. And eventually, I'm not making excuses for nothing. They reach a breaking point. And I'm glad nobody reached that breaking point, or maybe they did with you, BVR. I'm just glad you're here. But that's not cool. And that's not nothing to propagate.
I'm gonna tell you what made me learn. I was gonna do on the free bus, right? And he came back. He swore to God I didn't run. He swore to God I ran. He told everybody at school I ran. I didn't run. I just went inside the Dairy Mart and didn't come out till my grandma came. But I didn't run. He swore to God, man, I didn't run. I didn't run, man. I went to Dairy Mart where they couldn't see where I was at. I really just went in the bathroom and waited for my grandma to come.
You ain't run, you just hid. You ain't run, you just hid.
I didn't went into the Dairy Mart. When the dudes came back the next day at school, we had BBO. He ran up out of there. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I didn't run. They didn't know I was in the bathroom. They had blades on them. Dudes thought they was samurais or whatever. So they came with something for me. I don't know if the niggas thought they was Samurai Jack or what. But I ended up just going to the bathroom, wait till my grandma got there. But you have those issues. Sometimes you got to retreat. I mean, and you learn early on. Like I remember one time, and I thank God we didn't catch this dude. I wanted to cause harm to somebody. He ran in the field, and it wasn't nothing but the grace of God. Because if I would have got him, I would have did something bad to him. The bus come, he hop on the bus and leave. God is merciful in that, man, because I had something for that dude. And just like them dudes that came with them blades, like they was samurais for me. Hey, it is what it is. You got to be careful, man, what you say and what you do, because everybody ain't playing. You know, I remember my cousin spit in this dude's face, and dude came back with, a weapon, and he wanted to do some damage. So, I mean, for those kids that, and I don't think kids like us exist anymore. Kids that were just having fun bullying people, you gotta be careful doing that, because it's a lot of dudes that get soft hearts and they want to hurt you about it. So just make sure you're being careful, man. You can't slap dudes on the free bus all the time. They might be a punk and go get something. They can't fight you.
You shouldn't do it. If you're a follower of Jesus Christ, you shouldn't do it at all. Like, let's be clear. Like,
No,
ride
I'm
your
not. No,
bus.
I'm not. No, this
Let the
is
other
like a.
let the other
Getting in a
individual
rush of
drive their bus
these
home. Don't bother people. Don't be a
Hold on,
bully.
Kip.
Don't be an
Hold on, Kip.
asshole. Like, come
Oh,
on.
these like don't be in a rush to meet it.
even if
So
you
you
ain't a
giving them guys,
follower.
you giving them guys room to come up. So you think it was good that them kids came with them blades like that?
They supposed to burnt your big ass up. They supposed to filleted your ass. That's what they should have did. They should have left their name carved in your belly. You would have never forgot that. You might not have had a tattoo. You might not have had a tattoo, but you would have had a brand. You'd have had a brand. I'd have put that so.
Them brothers had something my brother Freak. You hear me, Freak? Oh, okay. But they had them fillet. They had them Jack Will. I don't know if y'all know who Jack Will. They had them Jack Willane. Now I remember dude said, "Don't let me catch you." I didn't run, and I say that to this day, 20-something years later. I didn't run. I just went into the Dairy Mart. Go ahead.
Let me say this. You didn't run. You just put a light jog to hide in the daggone room. You didn't run. You just put a light jog to it. But what I was going to say is, you might not have started as a hate crime, but then though that you were black, they were Asian, and you threw them down an escalator, that's a hate crime.
Thank
That's
you.
a hate crime. You picked them up and threw them down the escalator. If they would have called the police and got a lawyer, they would have got you for a hate crime, because that's one nationality versus another nationality. You only picking up
And you all,
Asians.
yeah, exactly.
You ain't pick up no Caucasians. You didn't pick up any Africans. You didn't pick up any Hispanics. You only or other blacks. You picked up Asians and threw them down the escalator. That's a hate crime.
They was throwing. Hold on. Don't try to get like this man. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say, but don't try to act like them dudes was innocent. Them dudes was throwing brothers down the escalator too. That's where we got it from. Wasn't.
It's still a hate crime. I'm not saying that just because somebody else does it doesn't mean that it's not a hate crime. If you see two dudes going in the daggone store and take money out of the cash register, and then you go do it, you say, "Hey, well, they did it. Why we getting on stuff for stealing out of the register? They did it. It's still stealing. They just didn't get caught doing it."
Hey, I'll be honest, Pittsburgh. I'm with you. I thought it was just kids being kids. I'll tell you guys a funny story.
Man, Pittsburgh,
So,
what I realized about Pittsburgh is he's just a contrarian.
Let me tell you this funny story. So one time, this dude owed my cousin some money, and we had spent the night at his house. We was playing it. I don't know if y'all remember playing the Xbox, the black Xbox, the big giant black Xbox. So we playing the Xbox, and my cousin was older, so he had work shoes or whatever. He used to work at Wendy's. So they used to make them wear these big black work shoes. So my other cousin filled his shoes up to the brim. And then he set his shoes back neatly in the closet, right? I remember the next day, my grandma waked me up with a belt. Was you there when he did that to that boy's shoes? I said, no, I didn't know he did. My grandma said, he's a liar, get him. But I always thought that was funny, that this dude fit up somebody's shoes, man. This on some. See, I used to like that Dennis the Menace prank stuff. People don't like that prank stuff. You know, what Miss BBO used to call me a black white dude or whatever. I don't know what she talking about, but I was like that prank type of stuff. Man. Everybody don't like that. You know, I like that prank stuff, man. But I don't know what you got on the coach. I see you didn't do none of that pranking stuff. Huh?
Nah, I wasn't into that. I was just trying to get some money. I mean, just be keeping it real. I just was trying to get some money. If dudes ever get money, they'll look at you like you a cold-blooded jerk for doing stuff like that and unnecessary heat to them. So I wasn't into that type of stuff. That wasn't my thing. That just wasn't my thing. I mean, you was an oversized guy. That's all. We used to know the stuff we was doing. We used to look at dudes your size like that's the big retarded shit. And we just really hate their attention. That's how we used to say it back in the day.
Your mic's kind of muffled, coach.
I said we used to call dudes like BVO the big stupid retarded kid. So
Oh,
we're just ignore you. Because nobody else did stuff. Nobody else did goofy stuff like that except for the overgrown silly ass kids. We
you
didn't,
rough, man.
hey, we didn't even really know if that was your real age. We were like, man, y'all know he done stayed back like 3 times. Man, leave the retarded people alone.
Hey, that R word a bit harsh, coach. Come on now.
When we
This was back in the 80s.
yeah, I know
In the 80s, this was rough. Like in the 80s, it wasn't no,
No,
it
I just
wasn't
mean for
no
the show. I get what you're saying, coach.
yeah,
I
no,
just
I
mean for
was in
for the
that
show.
it wasn't no politically correct. He was asking me how we looked at it back then. That's how we looked at it. Like BBO would have been considered a goof.
I
That type of
agree.
stuff. He was the crash out dude. Hey BBO,
he's a trash.
run across the street and snatch some 2 liters out the store. We ain't want him. We just want to see if he'd do it, and he would do it.
No, that's not the coach, man. But I ain't gonna lie to you, cause when my cousin filled up my cousin Monty's shoes, man, you know me and Monty didn't talk until I turned 21, and that happened when I was like 10 or 11. He had held that grudge like a girl, man. That was crazy. He held that grudge, man. I wasn't even want to fill the shoes up. I just thought it was funny.
That's probably not all you did to that guy. You just don't remember the other stuff.
But it was
Knowing
so
you,
crazy because he filled up dude's shoes to the brim, man. Oh, my grandma was so mad. I'll never forget that. That was a tough whooping, man. She went too far. Rest in peace, the normal Jean, man. She went too far that night. You don't wake nobody up with no belt. That's crazy. I don't know if any of y'all ever experienced that before?
yeah, I got woke up with a spoon.
Man, we used to get caught like they used to catch you out the shower. You know what I'm saying? You
That's
get
what I was
out
about
the
to
bathtub.
say, Dub. Yeah,
You get out the
wanted that
bathtub
skin
and
wet.
they coming straight for you when you look. Once they hit the water, start running.
Out the tub?
You start,
Whoa.
yeah. Right when look, you once that water start running or the you know what I'm saying, you start to they hit that that drain when you done took a bath, that drain start to sounding off. Oh man, the switch just meet you right at the front door, right at the bathroom door with the switch, waiting for you. Oh yeah,
Straight psychological warfare by the parents, man. It was wild.
When you talk about beating, I'm a product of the '70s. Everybody in the neighborhood got beaten. There was not a single kid in our neighborhood that didn't get beaten. If you didn't get beaten, you wasn't from the neighborhood. You was a matter of fact, it was no Caucasian where I grew up at. To see a Caucasian was like seeing a daggone unicorn. You very seldom
Yeah,
see
you
a
didn't see
Caucasian
that when I
in
was
my
growing up
neighborhood.
either. Yeah.
But everybody got beat. I mean, I got beat in my front yard because I did something I wasn't supposed to do. I got beat all the way home because I rode my bike to the other neighborhood, and my father and my mother told me not to leave the block. And my father caught me because he was hustling over there, and I happened to be right on the same block that he was hustling on, and he beat me all the way home. Look, none. Kids got beat all the time. That wasn't nothing unusual. That's why when I moved to New York and I heard about CPS, I was like, when they started this, I never knew that was a thing. I never knew nothing about CPS.
man. One time I told my mom, I said, look, they in school, they give you the lesson. You ain't supposed to do this, and the parents ain't supposed to do that. One time, man, I'm getting a
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll just say this, that
can y'all hear me?
I
my
don't think
grandmother
BBO
was
can.
really
BBO,
harsh,
can you
man.
hear Dub? You don't hear Dub
She
talking?
was harsh, man. She'll beat you because she had a
I
rough
don't
day.
think BBO
But
can hear us.
respect it. I wouldn't do my kids like that, but I had a lot of fun with her, and she always would tell me that I really
Yo,
made it
BBO.
fun for her, man. But rest in peace to my grandma. I say this. I wish I wouldn't have caused her as much frustration as I did. If that makes any sense,
BBO,
you know what I mean?
BBO,
Can y'all hear me?
you don't hear us.
Yeah, I
I
can
can hear
hear
y'all.
you, BBO. You can't hear us.
Yeah, I remember. He's gonna figure it out. But go ahead, Dub. What were you gonna say?
I can't remember exactly where I was going with it.
I don't know what's going on with BBO, but his mic be acting up. He can't hear all of a sudden. It's been going on for like 3 weeks now.
and we be in the middle of conversation when it happened. You be like, "Come on, bro." But overall, I'm just saying. I think that man, you need to.
Bro,
I
he
know what I was gonna
backstage.
say.
I don't
When
even
you,
think he realized he backstage. He probably still talking.
but no. What Free said when he was talking about CPS and all that kind of stuff. Back. The school they want to tell you, well, your parents ain't supposed to do this and this and all this other kind of stuff. I remember, man, my mom, she came in, she hit me across my back with the belt one time. Well, I said, hold on, you ain't supposed to be able to do that. And she said, who told you that? I said, well, that's what they said at school. She said, well, hey, you make whatever phone call you want to make, but just know I'm going to beat your ass until they get here. So just be prepared for everything that you're going to deal with while you wait for them to get here. I said, I ain't making no phone calls out here. I don't want no smoke.
No, I don't think whooping kids should apply. Like, I don't think that's helpful for every child in every situation. Like, some kids, like my nephew, who he had a rough, like, from the time he was born, his mother, she didn't have it all there. Then he had to get adopted by another family that loved him. Then that family, because he's having psychological problems, he's fighting, he's doing all this other things. She had to give him back. Whooping him did not work. If anything, it exasperated the problem and made him even more aggressive. They gave him back to his mother, and they're confused. Like, he's asking me questions that a 6-year-old should not be asking. You know what I'm saying? Like, why him and his brother don't live together? Like, I don't think whooping that child is gonna help. So I talked to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get him counseling and different services. So I don't
No,
think it applies for every situation, but for most, like 8 out of 10 of these kids that come from 2-parent households, or they have their mother and their fathers in their life, they need to get whooped, especially when they acting out in school, because they did not. Where did you pick that up from? If you have 2 parents that are in your life and are trying to
no.
help,
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the stuff that we getting from the young kids now is because they don't get beatings. It's because that the parents are not allowed to put hands on the kids. They tell them, oh, you got to put them in timeout. Kids don't respect timeout. They don't respect that. They
yeah,
respect you putting your hands on them, and they know, okay, if I do this, I know they're gonna beat me, and that's gonna hurt. So I'm not gonna do it again. But you tell
I
me
ain't
I'm
gonna
gonna
lie.
put you in timeout. I sit in timeout for 5 minutes, and then I go back doing it again. I ain't care about sitting in the corner for 5 minutes. They don't
Man,
care
My
about that.
grandma like
I
whooping
would,
ass though,
I
free.
would,
I would say, and but no, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I've seen my grandma have a rough day, and I knew she about to whoop some ass, man. I knew she about to whoop some ass. You came.
yeah, your
It
grandma
just,
sound like
it just what it
a
was.
mean husband.
It was with hey, and you want her to whoop because you don't want Granny to whoop because he don't know how to ease up.
Yeah, I mean,
so
hey,
so you
I'm
would
gonna
take
put
it
it
whoop
like
from
this.
her all day. Because my
I'm gonna put it like
grandfather
this.
would go ahead.
No, all of us on here got beatings when we were younger. We
Hmm.
all turned out fine. We all
Yeah.
turned out fine. Everybody have their mistakes. They have their downfalls and they slip up or whatever. But for the most part, we all turned out fine. So we're not out here disrespecting anybody and things like that. These young kids nowadays, they don't have no respect for nobody because they don't fear anybody. When I was a kid, I feared my parents. I feared my grandmother. I feared my aunts and uncle. These kids don't fear nobody because they don't get disciplined. So they don't have that fear in them.
and I think BC said it earlier. He was like, because back then it was a community ass whooping that you would get. You ain't get beat, like, especially
Yeah,
if you at your cousin house. I'm just giving my cousin daddy, my uncle. I'm gonna catch it from him. Then he gonna tell my mama exactly what happened. I'm gonna catch it from her. Then some type of way, my grandma, she gonna find out, and my great grandma gonna find out. I'm gonna catch it from them. Hey, ass just being passed down the line out here, being beat down, man. I'm talking about that just belts and switches all around the place.
I never
And Big
forget.
Ma, Big Ma used to. Last point, you had to pick your own switch. I don't know if y'all used to doing this, but we had to pick our own switch. And then what she would always do, you pick 3. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't pick a small
Yeah,
one
she
because
gonna braid them. Yeah.
she gonna braid. You already know where I'm going with it. You pick 3 and she gonna braid them up. And they sat right there behind her little rocking chair that she sat in, right in arm's reach. All she do is reach back just a little bit. Ooh, hey, I told you for the longest, me and me and the dog, we knew that we need to stay out of Big Mud area. You know what I'm saying? We need to stay out the way. So we just out there chilling. We in the backyard or playing basketball, whatever. But we hanging together because we know we both at risk during this time right now. We both at risk, so we need to make sure we in order. That's it.
Oh yeah, dog gonna get his ass whooped too.
Yeah, hey, look, Big Man used to call me the dog name on Nina, and Nina was the girl. Nina, boy, you know who I'm talking to. Bring your ass here. Come here. And you be thinking,
You know what's so funny about it? I just wonder, and maybe it's wrong of me to think it like this. I just wonder, like, were they, like, for instance, like my grandma used to be, catering and cooking and stuff. She be in the hot kitchen all day. I used to wonder, was she upset about what I did, or was she just mad that she's working in that hot kitchen all day? I used to always wonder that, because when you get in trouble, man, she going to work, man. And my grandma wasn't a small woman. She's about 6'3", 300 pounds. She was no.
It was a little bit of both. She was mad because she was in that kitchen all day, but she was also mad that you was out there acting a fool. So it was a little bit of both.
And my grandfather, old school dude working at Chrysler, man, he up there in the plant. He used to be on a janitorial service, and he be out there, taking trash out. And people don't know, this is before, like, they had all the, the things that made it easier. He up and down them stairs, up and down the offices, all that, you know what I mean? Because people don't know, cleaning you was on the same pay grade as somebody who was on the line. So all they was do is my grandfather, they would chase that pay grade. So he had got that top tier pay grade, and he took the easiest job in the house. And when he got on that trash, that janitor stuff, he was a lot smoother. But then when he got on that murder, I don't know if you guys ever heard of like the motor pool that they have there, man. I don't know what they made him do by moving them tow trucks, but he came home ready to whoop ass. So I mean, I think a lot of times now we realize that our parents they probably needed therapy, man, because you don't need to come home and whoop nobody's ass off something that they did wrong. How about you have a conversation? You know what I mean? It is what it is. But
my parents
in
had a conversation.
in BVO's case, it don't sound like the ass whooping worked. So were they really effective?
No, they hurt.
You had to do a little bit of time. You had to do a little bit of time. Like I've heard
what
you
got
talk
me,
about that, BVO.
As my grandma told me, you got more respect for that white woman who gonna put your black ass behind that cage.
There you go.
Hey, BVO, look, my parents they talk to me as they whoop my ass. They definitely talk to me, and I as they whoop me, they was talking. Didn't I tell you not to? And they continue whooping my ass. But the thing is,
free, and them words ring just a little. They ring a little more true with that when you getting touched at that same time that you listening to them words. It rang a little more true in your mind, don't it?
Right. Yeah. You understand a lot more when you got a belt to that ass. You might not might not listen to them if they just say, "Hey, don't go to the end of the block. I mean, don't go past the end of the block." But when they put a belt to your ass and say, "Don't go past the end of that damn block," you ain't going past the end of that block because you don't want that belt to your ass no more.
Hey, don't not cry. I used to ask my grandma was she enjoying this, and that's what she want to get my granddad. He really about to whoop some ass. I'll tell you this. Now, my family get mad when I say this, but my granddad used to whoop ass. He used to go too far, man. It is what it is. Though. He used to go too far, man. Because I remember one time my cousin got knocked out. He had said something to my grandma. She slapped him. He hit the fridge. I thought he was dead. I thought the dude was dead. I said, "You about to go to jail?" That's what I said as a kid.
But BVO,
check this out, though. Check this out. She get a pot of cold water, man. I think I told Coach about this. She dumped the water on this nigga. This nigga wake right up. I thought he was dead. I said, "You going to jail?" I got open for saying she was going to jail. Check that out. I got over saying she was going to jail, coach. That was a crazy part. That
No,
was crazy.
My grandfather.
you didn't get whooped because you said they was going to jail. She whooped you because she believed that you threatened them to go to jail. That was a threat.
She knew BBO was a snitch.
You said what? I
She
can't.
knew you was a snitch. She knew you was a snitch.
No, you should have seen it, coach. I thought that nigga was dead. I seen it. Y'all had to see it. I thought the nigga was dead. She hit him that hard. I thought he was dead.
So,
You
so
talking
I
about
never saw this. I never saw this, but I used to get like they used to tell me stories. So my grandfather, my great grandfather, excuse me, Big my husband, he died in '86. I was born in '88. So when they used to tell stories about, all right, Big Man, she gonna handle him, but if Papa got to get involved, he taking the butt of the shotgun to your forehead. That's what he gonna do to you. So y'all need to be in order out here, especially. And this is the default. This when they living in the country, all the way in the country, deep south. You know what I'm saying, Roberta. So hey, he taking that shotgun straight to your head and might knock you out with it.
You know what's funny? When I don't know if you guys ever seen that broom, them thick broom. It's not made for sweeping. It's only made for whooping ass. And my grandma hit me with that broom, and I said, "Dang, you trying to hurt somebody?" And she went even crazy because I said that. My grandma told me all the time, "You got a big mouth, and I'm gonna break you." She said all the time, "I'm gonna break your mouth." Shout out to my grandma. It's funny because I used to not like that she was like that, but now that she's gone, it's kind of funny how much I miss her, man. But that's life, man. That's life, man. That's life, man. Shout out to my grandma, man. I miss that old girl.
Yeah, shout out
What you
to the
say?
Grammys.
What you say? Bring me a Pepsi, and that's what I would do. I would do stuff like this. Like if my grandma asked for a 7 Up, I'm bringing a Sierra Mist. If my grandma asks for like a Pepsi, I'm gonna bring her a Dr. Pepper.
you did stuff on purpose to get your ass whooped.
No, but I'm talking about you kill freak. Yo, now you don't whoop no ass like they was whooping ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You don't whoop no ass like they was whooping ass. They whooping ass about whatever. I mean, if you on their
Nah,
phone late, if you run up if you run up they long distance, anything, they whooping ass, brother.
dog, that's not whatever. That's literally what you get your ass whooped for. You know you supposed to be asleep.
What my grandma say, y'all listen, y'all watching that devil Dragon Ball Z? You ain't watching that devil over here. I think she used to call Piccolo a devil. Y'all not watching that devil. We used to play Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, y'all over there playing which games, huh? Bam. I remember I had some Pokemon cards under my bed. My grandma took them bad boys and man to church, gave them Uncle Herman, God rest his soul. He never gave them back. I had to steal them out of his office later on. But I had a great childhood. I can't tell anybody anything. If I had a great childhood, man, I just felt like my parents were older, so they were like really harsh. But I had a great childhood. I can't complain. I got
I
to
had a
go to
great childhood too.
SeaWorld. I got to go to SeaWorld, Geauga Lake, all that stuff. It was fun, man. It's just that I wish my grandma would have gave me more. My grandma and granny would have gave me more of a break, and they wouldn't have been so cruel at times. But it was all good. I don't got nothing bad to say.
Yeah, I had a great childhood too, but I thank God
Yeah,
for
I'm
my
35.
grandmother.
I'm 35, BC.
Great lady, great
Yeah.
Canadian lady. She used to call me all type of names while she was whooping me, and I never used to knew what they were until I grew up. She used to call me like a beady rock. Like I didn't know nothing. I still to this day don't know what that means. She
Hold
used
on,
to
she
say
called you a
like
what?
following
You
them
called
little
hold on, what she called you? A beady ruck?
a beady rock. I still to this day don't know. My mother can't even tell me what that is. That's an old Grenadian Creole word. I don't know what that means.
A beady
She
ruck.
used to come outside. She used to not even let me cross the gate after I came from doing something because it's like it's the way how you described your upbringing, Dove. That's how mine was. You used to get beat by any adult if they saw you doing some stupidness. So we went by there was this old man. He used to come by and cut my grandmother's grass, and he had a shed that he kept all his tools in. We went in this man's shed and raided it, and we took about at least three machetes, and we were playing like we were medieval swordsmen or whatever. Then at one point we started just throwing the machete in the air. and running from it. This man came outside. He didn't catch me, but he whooped two of the other boys that were there. I get home. This lady's waiting right there with the fungi spoon, and she goes to work. I'm talking about she dragged down my pants right there outside and start putting that spoon to my ass. And the whole time she's talking about you gonna grow up to be a chichi man and you keep following all that man like that. I'm like, what the hell is a chichi man? It's not till later I learned what that really meant. She was saying I was gonna grow up to be crooked. You know what I'm saying? You keep following them other little boys.
Hold on, what they call it? A
And
chichi
then
man. They call it a chichi man.
a chichi man is another word for a batty boy, essentially, or anti man. You keep following them little boys, that's what you're gonna grow up to be. Like she was
Basically, you going to jail. That's what they tell us. You going to jail.
I mean,
Oh, you going to jail now?
Hey, you know what's funny? But hey,
I
but
know
no, let
that
me
lady
ask you
did
this.
that though.
Hey,
I
Bigo,
love her
you
to death. I mean, I
you
miss her
remember?
every day.
Y'all remember when the bus driver hit the dude with the uppercut and told him,
Oh
"You
yeah,
No,
you
going to
going to
jail
jail?
now?
Yeah, that was in
You going to
Cleveland.
jail now?"
Jeez.
Yeah, that was in Cleveland. Hey, coach, you know what's so funny? I never forget this. That's how I knew like I wasn't the best as a young kid because I had me and my wife had seen my kindergarten teacher, and she was crying. I mean, she hugged me. She crying, talking about, I didn't know about you. I didn't know what you was gonna do with your life. And I'm thinking to myself, you thought a kindergarten was that bad? You a jerk. You thought a kindergarten was that bad? And it's kind of funny, but you know what? I gotta take on this myself that, hey man, I was being a jerk, man. And
Extremely.
I gotta be better. And I just had to learn that because one thing for sure, my grandmother used to tell me all the time, ain't no excuse. You ain't no goofball. You know what I mean? You know what's going on. This is what you create. But I thank God for I thank God for Magistrate Sonderman. She helped change my life because she told me something that I'll never forget. She said, I'm not gonna do it for you. If you think you so slick, I got a place for your slick ass. And she was talking about jail. She was talking about jail. What'd you say? What you tell me? I had did something to her court. I can't think of the name of what she said. Some type of infraction I had did. And I was causing shame on her court. And she said if I did it again, she was gonna make me play. What's the word she used? Something about it was gonna be a vicious payment. Basically she was gonna put me away. That's all it was. She's gonna put me away. And I think about it to this day, like most kids, I'm not talking about like the ones that just messed around. I'm talking about kids like me who were being bad. Sometimes jail will do better. Sometimes jail will do good for you, man. It really will. It'll make you a better person because you get in there with them idiots and you realize I can't live here. These dudes is super stupid. You want to be in there with them guys, man. And you seen that with Malcolm. Malcolm did, I think, 10 or 12 years in prison. He came out and was able to do something special for himself. And, I don't know how many times Dr. King got arrested, and got his ass whooped. It's just one of them things I'll tell you, man. Sometimes,
Dr. King was a freedom fighter. You were just a goofball.
that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that sometimes people don't realize this, but sometimes prison saves people. And I think that, and it's going to sound crazy, more kids should go to like boot camps or like I went to something called Indian River, the youth authority. You go there and you realize that ain't nobody playing with you. Because sometimes you think it's a joke, man. You think it's a joke till they shut that door. You really do. You think you go, as she used to say, you think you're running a con, you're only conning yourself. And I think the most important thing you can ever do is look in that mirror and say, you know what, I'm wrong. And if you forgive me, I'm going to do better. But I always say this, don't get in that mirror and be like, you no good, blah, blah, blah. Because yes, you are no good. But that's not you. That's the enemy inside you, man. And you just got to say, you know what, God, just give me a chance to do better and do better when you get a chance. And guess what? You chilling from there. But that's something I learned. I had to learn. He said, no, I'm going to tell you something funny. Jail is the most fun and most ignorant place you can ever be in your life, man. You'll have fun some days, but it's hell other days, man. It's hell other days. Like when y'all eating like all them sweets and stuff, I can only speak about, the youth authority. It's fun, man. When they be having you making cakes and donuts, like they take biscuits and You make donuts out of biscuits, but when they take you out that doggone dormitory and they make you sit in a cell, or you on a liveman watch, and you're in there getting pumped full of pills, it's tough, man. What you think about all this, Coach, man? You've been quiet today.
I'm just listening to you, man. You was a full blown nutcase. Full blown. Stuff I hear you say, only to say about full blown nutcase.
Y'all know when I met Bernard, he said, "Man, you a psychopath, man." That's what he told me.
You was, man.
Like
You was psychopath.
I've never heard some of the things that I've heard you say, BBO, come from no other human. I'm gonna say that for the second time. Like you just looked for small people to throw down the escalator at the mall. Like you looked at that as fun.
No, you missing what they
Like
threw us down there
you like a
too.
cartoon character villain. That's
No.
what you is. That's what you were when you was a kid.
No, they threw us down there too. I got thrown down the escalator too, Mark.
Man,
That's the thing you don't
I
understand.
don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Hey, the Chinaman grabbed me up and threw me down the escalator too. I'd have been thrown down there.
Hold on. So you was the 5'10" dude getting grabbed up by the 5'3" dude getting thrown down the
No, it was three of them. It was three
I
of
don't
them.
believe it. He didn't even say
Because-
that earlier. He said it was his cousin
hold on,
that got
Marky. You
thrown
seen
down
it,
one
Marky?
day.
You seen it, Marky?
All I'm gonna tell you is this, man. Them Chinamen, they're pack ratchet, man. They don't fight fair. You slap one Chinaman, that's another Chinaman come behind you with an uppercut.
That's
They
how
don't
it's
fight
supposed to be.
one-on-one. No, you're not listening. I said they don't fight one-on-one. You can have an issue with one Chinaman, and then his cousin or somebody will come, and then it's you versus two people or you versus three people.
I mean,
You
when
know?
you got a 5'10",
And in the hood,
6',
guess what?
13-year-old, bruh.
Get what my grandma, me and my cousins, we knew one thing. If one of us get to fight, we all got to fight. We all for the fight. You know what I'm saying?
You know, speaking of Chinamen,
you know,
those Chinamen was the ones trying to fish fillet me. While y'all talking crazy, when they tried to say I ran, I didn't run. I just went to the store. It was Chinamen trying to fish fillet me. Was that a hate crime?
I would have tried to fish fillet you too. You kept throwing me down the escalator.
Free.
Yeah,
They
I'd have
threw me
made
down
sure
the
you didn't
escalator
come
too.
back. Especially you a repeat
Do
offender
you
when it comes to the
realize,
escalator.
Do you realize an escalator is metal? That joint ain't no daggone whoopee cushion. You throwing a man down a daggone metal flight of stairs that moves.
So when you throw me down, it's okay, huh? It's okay when my knee all scraped up. Okay, I see what you're saying. Free.
I didn't say it was okay, but I understood why he came after you trying to fish fillet you because you threw him down the daggone escalator.
I'm still, Coach, to this day, I never understood why them dudes came to school and they wanted to try to make it seem like I ran and they had them long swords, man. It just made me laugh. How you gonna try to play tough and you had a weapon the whole time?
You need help.
That was funny, man.
Like I said, it all depends on what you were looking for out of life and in life. You gotta remember, I came up at a time when people wanted to get money. You came up at a time when people wanted to get high.
Yeah.
See, it was different time for different stuff. These kids nowadays, drug dealing didn't go away, and they didn't solve a drug problem. Kids too lazy to sell drugs now.
Yeah.
So it's different eras created different things. You know, these kids nowadays, they just want to be into mischief. They don't want to do anything that's productive. But once again, it takes a village. But if you got a village full of idiots, what are they creating? More idiots.
Yeah.
When your dad walking around here with his pants hanging down, what his son gonna do?
Same thing. Dang. Yeah, you preaching, Coach.
And that's the bad one. I just said a second ago, I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, man, I pray for understanding at this current understanding you know what I'm saying, and knowledge right now, so I can raise my son accordingly. Make sure that I can clear the pathway for him, and he's not gonna deal with a lot of the things that we had to come up dealing with, if that makes sense. Because times are different now. We're in a better situation. So, but I still have to have that understanding to make sure that I'm raising him correctly and putting the right type of energy on him. Where he ain't going out there and allowing the other individual to and convince him to act the fool out there. Because once you start acting the fool, get what? Now I got to deal with you. And if I got to deal with you, well, we already know how that's going to work. We already know how that's going to work. So, I say that's why we always got to pray for understanding and knowledge, not just from a standpoint of trying to be better people ourselves, but trying to raise our kids in the best way possible.
Yeah. I mean, because, hey, one thing you find out early in life, man, don't nobody owe you nothing, man. And for those kids, like I said, I was coming up with us and I came up with them. I'm just glad a lot of us did really well in life, man. Those same kids that tried to fish fillet me on a really really nice Chinese store that I shop in to this day, and we laugh about that now. Like, oh yeah, they told me, oh yeah, BBO, we gonna cut you, man. I was like, yo, what? Yeah, we about to cut you, man. And the part that made me laugh was that they still act like I was the wrong person. And they the ones that had the knives, but
You know who you remind me. You know who you remind me of, BBO, and I think a lot of kids in this generation, to add on to what Coach is saying, a lot of kids now are looking for attention. I think that might be what you was at the time. Like, you remind me, like, if you had social media in your hands, you might have been the first bunk gang. You would have just been going around committing crimes just for the attention of it on social media, just for the rush.
You sick,
That's what this stuff that like you talking about remind me of.
No, y'all cold, man. It's just a young brother having too much fun, and apparently you can't have that kind of fun.
Bunk gang was a young brother having too much fun, going in people's store, snatching up their products, smashing drinks on the ground,
messing
screaming,
folk cars
snatching up
up.
people.
You remember he used to jump on folk cars and break the windows.
Bunk gang, a whole lot of gangs. That's what you remind me of, BBO.
I'm gonna tell
Just
y'all
a
something
dummy.
cool. While we talking about, I know we're not talking boxing tonight, but I want to give a applause to David Benavidez. I can no longer call him the Mexican pussycat. He grew a pair of nuts, and he made it clear today that after he fights Zerto Ramiro and
Ramirez.
fight, Zerto Ramirez, and after my man Ja get done with Noel and his work with this guy, they will fight, and the Turk agreed they will be fighting at the top of next year, if not sooner. So it's good to see David Benavidez grow a pair of nuts. I want to give him his credit, and shout out to the Turk for making the best fights. And I like to say that they heard us. Shout out to the Turk, man. Go ahead.
No, what happened was I called David Benavidez and I told him, I said, man, this man BBO keeps saying you won't call him out. I understand Jai Obert's not gonna say your name, so please let this man know who's next. So David Benavidez said, well, since Jai don't have the balls to call my name, I'm gonna call his name and let him know I will be fighting him next.
Hey, Coach, and the part that made me laugh when I heard David and his dad talking today, you would have thought they heard the show, man, because they are somebody. It's a lot of people talking crazy. Shout out to
BBO, you think I'm joking? I'm dead serious.
No, I'm just saying the dude, the way I know it's that a little bit, Jose Senior. I'm just saying the way Jose Senior was talking, he kind of was like talking as if he had seen one of my videos. So shout out to Jose Senior, man. But I just thought it was funny. They tried to make it seem like he said we was speaking on. He tried to make it seem like people speaking on his son's name and blah blah blah. All I do is speak the facts. So I don't want no smoke.
Man, don't steal my vernacular. But listen.
Trust and believe he did see your video. Trust and believe that he did see your video.
Yeah, but listen, David Benavidez has always had the stones to step up to any challenger. So I don't know what you were talking about.
No, he grew a pair of balls. I
never thought the whole pussycat name was ever apt or accurate for this guy. Canelo ran from this man. This man came up to 175. Bivol didn't want to fight him. Beterbiev didn't want to fight him. And now he at 175. I hope that Jai Opetaia, like you like to say, has the nuts to step in that ring with David Benavidez. Because I think Benavidez has the stones to step up to that challenge.
Well,
You know
he just told us today that he grew.
The last time we saw,
because we thought he was a unit.
Jai Opetaia in there with a real puncher, with somebody who'd been in there with real opposition. His jaw was damn near hanging down to his Adam's apple.
That's a
Just
fact.
being honest with you.
Broken jaw.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what happens when he steps in there with the Mexican, with El Monstro, not the Mexican pussycat. Get it right, boy.
What they call him, man? Monstro now?
El Monstro.
Shout out to the Mexican, man.
Did Marky just call you a boy?
Hell yeah.
Well, that's how those West Indians talk, man. That's how those West Indians talk. We gonna get him out of here. We're gonna send him back on to ice. We're gonna get him back home. But I'll say this, though, all jokes aside, I thought it was dope that they made it seem like they had heard my video, man, because you know, for David Benavidez to grow a pair of cojones, I just didn't think it was possible. You know, I thought the man was a mighty cone.
They did listen to your video. I keep telling you, I'm not joking. They did listen to your video.
Yeah, I'll just say this. It's just funny because, you know, to hear them say, hey, Coach, I was shocked, Coach, but, you know, we're going to have Jai Opetaia on here soon, and we're going to, you know, I think it'll probably be after the fight from what I'm getting. But what you think about that, Coach, about my man David Benavidez growing a pair of nuts?
I ain't gonna slap the hell out of your ass when you see me.
Nah, I'm gonna have to live with me. You ain't gonna slap me.
Hold on, not to live.
Be the man you was when you was on the radio. Be the man you was when you was on the radio.
Hold on, Coach. Hey, BBO using Jalil as his bodyguard now.
I know. I'm just saying, hey, man. I want Jalil to do like he did for Tio, man. When he tell Africa, sit your monkey ass down. You remember that?
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That's a true story. That's a true story, ain't it, Coach?
Stop fucking with the man when he at work.
Nah, that's not what the dude said. He told this to sit your monkey ass down. That was
the word. He said that shit. Nigga crazy. Debo crazy.
That's why I said I don't think David Benavidez want to walk on me while I'm with Jalil, man. I think Jalil knock him out. I don't think
Jalil gonna instigate that shit. He gonna instigate. He gonna say, be strong like you was, man. Stand up to that nigga. You say you 6'5". You said you 6'5". That nigga gonna make you stand on business.
Hey, BB, sound like he ducking Rick, Coach. He sound like he ducking Rick right now, don't he?
Oh, I sound like I'm ducking Rick. I just said my man got it.
He ain't ducking Rick. He slid under the soda machine.
Hey, man. Y'all rough, man. Y'all some rough dudes. I'll tell you that right now. But let me ask you guys this. That being said, like hearing that about my man David, what you guys think about Xander calling Devin Haney a crybaby, and he said he gonna make anybody who said his name pay? What you guys think about Xander saying something like that?
Make Devin like
You said Xander said what?
He gonna make Devin beat his ass.
Xander, he dipping his toe in some water that's too hot for him. That's exactly what's going on. He dipping his toe in some extra hot water, and all right.
Hell nah, Dub. Xander Zayas is an old school type of fighter, 23 years old, showing he got the stones to step to any challenge. You know what I'm saying? 23 years old, a unified.
He said he gonna punish niggas, man. He said he gonna punish
23 years old. Was performing at the Super Bowl halftime. He an icon where he from. He ain't scared of nothing.
I'm gonna tell you like Coach told you. I'm gonna tell you like Coach told you. These kids from this generation, they ain't backing down from nobody.
Yeah.
They ain't backing down from nobody.
Yeah.
That was funny though, man. I never thought I would hear Xander say no stuff like that, talking about he gonna do this and that.
But I think it's fantastic though, because at the end of the day, I think that could be a big fight. You know what I'm saying? And Like what's your boy name that what's his name that used to always talk for Tank? What's Leonard Ellaby? What Leonard used to always say? Oh, the fight it ain't ready yet. It ain't been built up enough. We got to build it up accordingly. But this is them
Leonard
building
used
up
to
a
talk to the fans like a pimp.
I used to love. I love Ellaby, man.
But ain't this building the fight? This is building the fight. So, hey, I think they doing the right thing, man. Go at each other. I ain't got no problem with it. Matter of fact, I want to see these niggas in the ring with each other. I can't wait for it. I want to see.
We got to remember that we might get to see the sponsor, man. Shout out to Jalil Haggett, man, next middleweight champion. We might see him with Xander because Xander heard what he said, and Xander don't play that. So we gonna see, man. We might see the champ get a shot, man, at one of the best fighters in the world. So that's exciting all the way around, man. Because Xander don't take all that you talking on his name stuff.
That ain't what you asked me. That ain't what you asked me. You done shifted the conversation. I'm gonna take it back to what you were speaking on. And as far as Xander and Devin, man, hey, I think that's a dangerous fight for both of them. I want to see it. I want to see them guys in the ring with each other. If we're not going to get the Keyshawn fight, if we're not going to get, I definitely want to see the Ryan rematch. And I got to ask BBO, if you don't mind, because this Saturday we finally have the Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia, Africa, Oscar Duarte, Antoine versus Hiroka. I think Frank Martin on that card. I believe he's fighting Albright. He fighting the dude that Keyshawn and them tried to jump, ain't he? I think he is.
Yeah.
I might be.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got Beck the Bully on that card. Amari Jones is on that card. Are you excited for this weekend?
I am, but I don't. I'm be honest. I don't give Ryan Garcia a lot of support. It don't matter, we only got like 9,000 subscribers, but I don't support Ryan Garcia at all. I just don't like him, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm gonna cover the fight and all that. I just don't like Ryan Garcia, man. I don't like the stuff he say, man. He now he's I don't know. I don't like the stuff he say, man. And shout out to him. I know he part of the Alphabet Gang and everything, but I just don't like how he is. I don't like him, man.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Even though it's the main event, Ryan and Mario Barrios, I'm more excited for the Africa fight. Really, the Antoine Hiroka fight is the fight that I'm looking forward to the most.
Hiroka can be nasty. He could. I don't think he can beat Antoine.
I like
Hiroka. Give him a
Hiroka.
good fight.
I think Hiroka can fight. I like Hiroka.
Yeah, he got like what was it 10 straight knockouts or something?
Something crazy. Yeah, it's something like that.
He beat niggas dead. Hey, and you know what? Speaking of Hiroka, man, he gonna have to be ready because just like Coach Beaton showed us what you live. Them guys that come from that Gary Russell tree, these niggas can box and come forward. So you can't just do what you want. So
man, I think it's gonna be it was just interesting listening to Mr. Gary talk about it. And Coach, I want to ask you real quick and Free. I know y'all kind of had connection. No disrespect to you, BVO. You know what I'm saying? I think when you said you met Mr. Gary Sr., he was like, man, what the hell you got? Man, get the hell on, man. What you doing? Anyways.
Yeah, that was years ago. Yeah, he did say get the hell on. Shout out to Coach. Hey, Coach. You know what's funny? I wish Coach was here. I wish Coach was here because I had talked to the nigga on the phone. Then when I see him, get the hell out the way, big man. That was the first thing I put my mouth.
But
that's cool. Way to go.
I just want to hear y'all opinion, Coach Free. I want to hear y'all opinion on the style matchup between Hiroka and Antoine. It was interesting listening to Mr. Gary say, man, on paper, you know what I'm saying, Hiroka's style is all wrong for my younger brother. But we got this. Hey, we already got the game plan in place, and we know what we're gonna do. Just what's y'all thoughts? Have y'all seen Hiroka, and what's y'all thoughts on that fight?
I agree with Mr. Gary Russell. Hiroka's style is all wrong for Antoine's style is all wrong for Hiroka because Hiroka he backs up in a straight line and he needs space. He needs space to get his arsenal off. Well, the one thing that we know about Antoine knows how to close that distance very quickly. And he's not going to, if he see If you need space to get off your firepower, he's not going to give you that space. He's going to stay right in your chest and beat your body up until you break down and give up. So I think this style matchup is all wrong for Hiroka. And everybody that believes Hiroka is a big puncher, yes, he is a big puncher. But against the level of opposition that he's been in the ring with, he was able to display his power. Antoine is not going to give him that opportunity to be able to display his power because he needs distance. And so I just think Antoine is going to beat him up.
What you think, Coach?
I just don't think that there's nobody at that weight class that could fuck with Antoine right now. I think he's too mentally disciplined. I think he's definitely the bigger puncher in the weight class, and he's a force. I mean, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do with him? You haven't seen him hurt. You haven't seen him fatigued. You haven't seen anything of that nature. And then all of those guys are of his generation.
Hold on, now, Coach. I will say I did think he was hurt. I thought he was hurt against Rance. I thought he did get hurt against Rance.
Is okay. I think you can get hit with a good shot, and any fighter gets buzzed and get their attention. But I haven't seen him hurt where he's backed up, hands up, trying to play a whole defensive posture.
No, he wasn't almost stopped. Is that what you're saying? No, he wasn't almost stopped. No.
And I think if not almost stop. I'm not saying stop. Just once again, I don't see where any of them can give anything that can put him to the point where it could be dangerous. I just don't see it. I just don't see you at some point with Antoine. You gotta have firepower. If you don't have firepower, he'll walk through that shit. Even in his loss, he was walking through that motherfucker. If you don't have firepower, he coming. And like I said, I don't really rely. Who are the champions in his division?
Right now, the champion Shakur. Shakur is the WBO. The IBF is Africa, and then I believe what is Antoine? Is Antoine the WBC? Or no, he's the WBA. WBC champion, the dude who just won against
it's Dalton Smith.
Dalton Smith, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Dalton Smith, the toughest out of the other three champions outside of Antoine, because I can't put Antoine against himself. But Dalton Smith, the toughest out of the other three. And I think the other two, Twan, is just bring the bitch out of.
So when you say that, we talk
I got a question. Is Antoine still with PBC or is he with a DAZN promotion now?
He's still with PBC.
The only thing I see that could hold back Antoine's career is inactivity. Outside of that, I think he's really improved from those Francis Bartholomew fights. That Puello fight, I'd like to see the rematch. I think he could potentially win, maybe even stop the guy at this point, especially if Puello fight the type of fight he had against Matias. I ain't really seen Hiroka. But what I will say is the people from the Asian continent, they typically don't fare well at these higher weight classes. All I would ask from Antoine is just more activity. Like I think he fought. Like when did he beat El Rayo? Like I think last year May or somewhere around that time. Like that's it. That's really it. So I'm hoping that now that Turkey's taking an interest in him, we could get more of that. But I think you should get through this. I don't see this, and I haven't seen the guy fight, so I'm not gonna try to discredit him.
That's another
but
thing,
I
Marky.
just want to
That's
see.
another thing.
Well,
That's another thing. Andy Aroko hasn't fought since September 5th of 2024. He's been out of the ring for almost 2 years, and he's stepping back in the ring with Antoine.
Well, there you go. So that dude got his own inactivity. But that's why I said I don't see this guy, and I'm not trying to discredit him because I haven't seen him fight. But I just don't see a person named Andy Hiroka being the one who decrowns or dethrones Antoine at this point.
No, he won't. He won't dethrone him, but he could beat him a little bit. Beat on him a little bit. He's not no punk. Tell you that right now. Hiroka ain't no punk. But on that note, man, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no. He's not no punk. But none of the guys that Antoine been in the ring with have been punks. They all try to fight Antoine. They just realized that they couldn't.
Yeah. I thought Pulo beat him, but watching it the second time, I don't think he could do that better. He was kind of outboxed. That's all.
No, I think Antoine he took his foot off the gas. He took his foot
Yeah.
off the gas and he didn't stick to the game plan like I told y'all from the very beginning. Before
Yeah.
Antoine even told you, I said that man he didn't stick to the game plan. He took his foot off the gas and he let Alberto come back.
And
But if Antoine would have
Hitchens said he's a front runner. What y'all think about Hitchens saying that? Called Antoine.
Well, he been front running on he been front running on Hitchens since the amateurs. Then
I think you had something for that. That's funny. Oh man.
Well, if Hitchens say Antoine is a front runner, that just tells me that he don't expect making it past the first 6 rounds because he's not trying to get in there with him. He don't plan on making it past the first 6 rounds. If you think Antoine is a front runner,
Yeah, I think he was talking out his ass. That's all. To be totally honest, he just talking. I mean, Antoine is dangerous. Look at that boxing. But anybody got anything else when we get out here? We're gonna be back tomorrow.
nah, I'm good.
All right, on that note, man, we see everybody tomorrow. We're gonna be talking boxing. Thank you guys for supporting the day, and we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.